Hey, just real quick here, I put together a video here for you, and it's basically every little thing that I kind of got into today. Plus, well, I did a bunch of relaxing, but anytime I got into doing something today, I kind of made you a little clip. So you're going to get to see my activities throughout the day. And the 61, we did a bunch of, I wouldn't say I did a bunch of work, but we got a bunch of updates on the Husqvarna 61 that we're porting and building and all that stuff. So check it out. It's going to be a longer video though, I think. We'll see. Alrighty. All right. So we're going to have a day in the shop here, but I'm going to kind of show you a little bit more of the process. It is early in the morning. It is just daylight. So we're probably, 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock. And we're going to start getting ready to do some work. But, we are in winter now. It is like 15, maybe 20 degrees outside. So it is like 15, 20 degrees inside the shop. This thing is only heated whenever I'm out here working. And that's what we got to do first. We got to get some heat going. So we're going to get a fire started. And I'm going to show you how I do it really super quickly, and then we're going to go in the house, wait a little bit, and come back out. Because, it takes time to warm up a shop from like 15 degrees. So what do you say? Let's get fire started really fast.
So this is my Kodiak. Let's get some fire going in there. Got myself lined up a bunch of starter wood. And let's get her going. Don't need to get too particular. We're just kind of building a crib here. A bunch of pieces of wood. Now I will build this crib until she's full. I won't mess around putting small pieces, big pieces too much until I get to the very top. I have a bunch of these little scraps of wood laying from all the work I've been doing. And that's what you're seeing here. And this is pretty much most of what you're seeing there is actually maple. And some poplar. There's some poplar in there as well. Like this piece here is definitely poplar. And I got a pile of it here. It was scraps that I just kind of cut up to turn into my kindling. So now I got to get some fire starter in there. As you noticed, there's no paper involved. And fast starts. A little fire starter here. Just enough to get the job done. We'll let that soak in for a minute, and now I'm going to throw a couple of these rounds in here. What I'm talking about is a couple of these cookies. I'll toss these in up top there while I let that fire starter soak in. Alright, that should get her done. Let's get her going. Now, I have a damper on this wood burner, which is probably out of your view, but it's wide open. I've discovered that my flue doesn't draw well enough to use a damper. So, I kind of got to deal with what I got to deal with. It's a steel pipe. The flue is actually just a 6-inch steel pipe, and it's pretty thick. And it takes forever for that sucker to warm up and draw a good draft. An hour. I'd probably say an hour until this thing really starts operating the way it needs to operate. It just takes forever. Looks like the fire is going to go pretty good. She's taking off pretty quick, pretty easy. You know what I mean? No issues there.
All right. I want to kind of show you the two projects we're going to be getting into today, but I'm not going to get started until she warms up a little bit more. So I'm just going to show you what's going on. So the 61 that we've been working on, I have been I mentioned it in a previous video how I wasn't going to do the bottom end. I was just going to take my chances. Well, I have been sitting here with WD-40 spraying into the bearings and just keep hosing them and hosing them and hosing them and rotating and rotating and rotating. And there's this gritty feeling that I just cannot get rid of. They have like this almost like sandpaper gritty feeling. I'm going to say the bearings are shot. I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to go ahead and split the cases, start a new set of bearings in it. I did order seals. Well, I mean, I went to order seals and I was like, boy, should I order seals? Should I order bearings? Should I order the whole kit? You know what I mean? I ended up ordering the whole kit. So we have all new gaskets coming, new seals, everything with bearings, but I already have bearings here. I think these take 6203 bearings. And if it does, I have like 20 of them sitting here, brand new. So I think we're gonna be good to go ahead and split this case and put her together. The only thing I have not done is confirm whether or not it has good spark. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Give me 1 sec. All right. I checked with multiple different plugs. I checked with the switch on and off and everything. There's no spark at all. So, I mean, that might be a good reason why they stopped running this saw in the first place. You know what I mean? That, and it probably was starting to struggle with power from how bad the piston was or how poor of a shape it was in. So, looks like we're going to have to order the parts, new coil setup and everything. Which ain't no big deal. I got other parts coming. It's going to be probably another week or so until all that stuff comes. But what do I got left to order here? I got to get a trigger set up. Forgot about that. And the coil. Everything else is ordered. I brought a brand new coil, or bought a brand new carburetor for it. So the carburetor issues, I'm not even going to bother playing with trying to find something else. I just bought a brand new one. What else? The muffler, the mount, the bolts to hold the muffler in place. One of them was bad, one of them was good. So I ordered a new set of bolts for the muffler. In fact, I got the muffler mod just about done. I'm doing some cleanup work, but the muffler mod is pretty much done. What else? I got new gaskets coming. You know, we've already done a clutch on it. So yeah, 61. Today we're going to split the case, I think. We'll go ahead and get the coil off of there. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today with the 61, is just working on getting the bottom end rebuilt. But we're going to do some tractor work as well. Let me show you that. Yep, this is the tractor. The 4-wheel drive is busted, and I said about it before, how the axle's busted, and here it is. So the half here, there's about 3 or 4 inches missing here. That's where all the spline gears are. And yeah, that whole section's missing. I thought it was still in there, but it wasn't. So I have a new one coming. The new one is coming today. It's supposed to be here today. So as long as it shows up today, I'm going to work at putting this guy all back together, getting it cleaned up and back together. New axle, we'll have our 4-wheel drive back up and running. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm working on with the tractor. There's where a fire looks like right now. It's at that point I'm going to start packing her full of cookies. I'm looking to get it a couple of inches, like 4 inches of nice red coals laying in the bottom. So that's why you're seeing a lot of the smaller stuff happening right now. Once I get them, that hotbed coals there, then I'll just start throwing bigger and bigger pieces in. The small stuff burns down faster, you know what I mean? It'll get me into a good hot rolling heat quicker by going with the small stuff first. So that's where fire's at. She's starting to warm up. I can already feel a difference in here, but it's just, she's not where I want it to be yet. All right, so everything's done. I just stocked the wood burner up. Should be good to go for another hour or two until I have to touch it again. So I think I'm going to go inside and I'm going to work on lunch, actually. gonna make some stuffed peppers. I think I'm gonna get them made up and put in the oven for lunch. You know what I mean? So we'll be back in a minute. Well, I'm in the shop again. I actually got the crankcase split on the 61. Here's our crankshaft. Bearings are off and everything. But check this out. That's one bearing. Here's the other one, look. Don't even want to turn. Yeah, I'm glad I took that apart, aren't I? That could have been a mistake. Now, I was thinking it was a 6203 bearing, but it's not. It's a 6202. And I had some here. So, these are SKS 6202s. Last two I had, they were not in the packaging. So they ended up getting a little surface rust on them. They were just sitting on the shelf, you know what I mean? So I just went through and cleaned them. Put oil in there and, you know, they're great. I have no issues there. So now it's just a matter of getting everything put back together. But I can't put it all back together until my gaskets show up. I need that crankcase or the case gasket for the two halves. You know what I mean? So what I think I'll do is I'm going to clean them. Go ahead and clean them up again. I wonder what kind of oil that was. Look how yellow it is. See that? Real yellow. That bar oil. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to work at cleaning them up. Get my gasket surface all cleaned up. And that'll be ready. Just, you know, waiting for the gasket to show up. I'm going to wait till the new coil shows up before I pull that coil off, I think. You know? I don't know. We'll see. But that's where we're at on the 61. Can't really do much more crankcase-wise. Now, the cylinder still needs finished. I still got to go through and with a diamond burr and clean everything up. This is, you know, what you've seen so far is just the roughing of the port work and everything. I still got to get in there with a diamond burr and clean her up and take care of all my chamfers, you know, all that stuff. I think I'm going to, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that exhaust port. I think I'm just going to polish her out now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just polish up the exhaust port that way, and then everything will be done for this, you know? So we're still not done with it. Still got things going on. I still got work to do to it. Just, I do need to wait for parts. I need gaskets to show up and all that. The only thing left I can do is work on that cylinder, and I can get my new bearings installed onto the crank. Pretty much it. And I'm just gonna stick these bearings on the wood burner and let them get hot. You know, the crank's cold. It's been down to like 10 degrees at night or so. So I think that might be enough, that a few minutes on there might be enough that she just slides together, you know? Well, here, let's find out. I'll go ahead and do this now, and then maybe we can show it to you on video. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and stick these bearings on the wood burner, get them good hot, and let's see if they slide on. Okay, I'll bring you back in a sec. All right, you ready? Bearings are hot. Let's, I've got a rag here. Here's the crank. Let's see if they slide on. Bearing number one, here she goes. Look at that, right together. If you're wondering why it's smoking, it's because I had oil on it. Two-stroke oil. You know what I mean? So, let's grab the other one. Here we go. Let's go. There she is. Well, I'm just waiting for her to cool down now. That oil was smoking pretty good. I completely smothered it in two-stroke oil, cloth super Technoplate to be exact. So now it smells like Technoplate in here. You know what I mean? But they went right on. No issues at all. Little heat is all it takes. And that's kind of what I'll do to put this in the crank or in the case. I'll just heat the cases up good and slide her together. You know what I mean? We're just waiting for that to cool down so we can handle it. All right. This crank is cooled down enough that I can handle it. You know what I mean? And bearings are on, nice and quiet. You know what I mean? We'll be good now. I was going to take my chances before and not do the bottom end. I'm glad I decided to come in and double check. You know what I mean? I would have been having to tear this thing down again for certain. So I'm just waiting for parts. That's really what's holding me up here. You know what I mean? So as the parts come in, we'll get her done. This is kind of why you typically see me jumping around from saw to saw. Parts. You know what I mean? You always seem to be waiting on parts. But right now, I am probably, well, I think I'm going to go in and check on my stuffed peppers. Throw some wood in the fire and relax for a bit. I don't have much to do here. I'm going to take these halves in the house with me and clean them. These 2 case halves. But other than that, we are waiting for the most part on this 61, and I'm waiting for the tractor part to show up so we can get on that. But so we'll see how this day progresses from here. Alrighty. Hey, before I run into the house here, I forgot to mention, I did get the pipe fitter position. So starting Monday, I am officially a pipe fitter. I'm no longer the lead or most senior laborer. I will be a pipe fitter starting Monday. So little change at the job. I've done the pipe fitter job plenty of times before. It's not like it's a big deal. I've done the job. It's my job is rated, so it's like rated work, and depends on what job you're doing, is depending on how much you make. I will be rated at the pipe fitter rate full time now. So I won't be one day on labor rate, one day on assistant rate, you know, bouncing around. I'm at pipe fitter rate every day. So that's kind of the change there. And what else? Well, my wife is 7 days a week right now, working 7 days a week. So that's kind of why you see me bouncing around so much. I only come out for a couple of minutes, then I go in, checking the kids, you know, take care of meals and stuff. So yeah, I only come to the shop for a few minutes at a clip, maybe 30 minutes tops, and then I'm back into the house. You know what I mean? But I got the gasket services all cleaned up on that 61, so I'm actually headed in right now. We're gonna clean the cases, and yeah, we'll be back in a little bit. Well, I gotta haul firewood into the house. One of those chores we gotta do, you know what I mean? And I thought I'd just kind of show you, because whenever the house caught on fire, we put this door in, and I literally have a tote right inside the door that holds all the wood, and you can see the flue. I mean, that's what the wood burner is. Pretty simple setup. And I just use the tractor to haul the wood up and keep filling up this trailer. I need to refill my firewood supply, and then tomorrow by like lunchtime or whatever, I'll just top off what I can, and then I'm going to cover it because we got snow coming. So, you know, it's going to start snowing tomorrow, so I want to make sure she's covered and I'm not dealing with all of that. But as you can see, I still haven't made the repairs to the house. You know, we've been kind of recouping financially. I'm not so worried about this right now. I want to get that finances recouped after all of this. You know, I ended up borrowing some money and all that, and I wanted to make sure it's taken care of before I get into this. I got a board laying there, that way I can take that and have the mill copy the siding, you know, that shiplap siding, and that's why that's laying there. That's just so I can take it to the mill and he can copy it. I think I need about 50 boards though. You can kind of see I'm really anxious because I can't stand the color of the house. You know, I want to get her painted, and I'm just kind of waiting for this. I was hoping to do it this year, and you know, sometimes they don't happen as things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. The original flue, it shot. The fire, it pretty much ruined the flue. So that's why you see that stainless thing. And it's kind of funny. I literally just restoked the fire and it's still smokeless. Like, I literally stoked the fire and came out here. So, you know, I'm finding that I'm getting almost no creosote, no nothing. And this wood really isn't seasoned all that well. I mean, it was just cut down this spring. We split it throughout the summer months and everything. I think a lot of that has to do with the wood burner that I use. It's got one of those, it's one of those ones with the air vents in the top of it that burn the actual smoke. You know what I mean? And everything that comes out is just clear. There's nothing. You know what I mean? It burns the actual smoke at the fire, but it doesn't actually start doing that until you get it hot enough. So, you know, whenever you first start your fire, she'll be cold and it'll smoke. But after that, she runs smokeless, even with the wood being a little green. The problem with the greener wood is that it doesn't recatch quickly. So I'll restoke the fire and it'll take a minute or a couple of minutes for it to take off. You know what I mean? Where if it was good and dry, it would take off almost instantly. So I get like a, I don't know, 10-minute period where the wood just kind of sits in there and kind of smolders a little bit, and then all of a sudden she takes off. So, you know, we keep trying to add more and more wood to our supply to help get a better seasoning out of it. But I'm actually hoping that this year is the last year of running this setup. Hopefully by next year we have a wood boiler, an outside furnace, you know what I mean? But if we don't, this works perfectly fine. There's no issues whatsoever. It's just this is temporary. And, well, I mean, the plans this year are to get this house painted, get this siding all fixed, and get the boiler installed. That's the plan. We'll see if we can get her done. That's a lot of money, you know? So we'll see how she goes. This house is not set up for a wood boiler. It was set up for one of these little wood stoves to heat the house. It's just a pain in the butt because you got to stoke the fire often enough. You know what I mean? You got to run that fire pretty hot in a little wood stove in order to heat a 5-bedroom house. So, you know what I mean? It's just you got to restoke it often. And I really want that wood boiler because it'll be a lot less work, a lot less splitting, everything. Save me a lot of time and energy, you know what I mean? But let me go ahead and get our firewood supply restoked. It's probably going to take a quarter of this trailer load. Well, I've been out here in the shop for a little bit now. So where did we leave off? I think I left off showing you the firewood. So I did clean my cases up for the 61. So they're good to go. Bearings are installed on the crank. I could put half of the crank on, but I'm going to wait. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into that. I did get my axle, my new axle for the tractors right here. So, yeah. I didn't get it put on yet, though. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and I don't feel like going a whole lot longer. The project I actually got into was my doors. They needed I needed a latch. So I built the doors, but I had no way of latching them shut. And I wanted it to be one mechanism that could be operated from inside the room or outside to latch both doors all in one shot. So let me show you where I'm at. I'm pretty close to finishing. I think I might wait till tomorrow to finish it though. So yeah, tomorrow I'll probably just finish that latch and get this axle on the tractor. So let me show you where I'm at on this. It's kind of a cool mechanism I came up with. So this is the mechanism. I put it up high because of the kids. It's just, it's too high for them to reach, and you know what I mean, help keep them out of the building. It's almost done though. So I got this mechanism here. This will keep the two doors link together, but there's still nothing to keep it from pushing out. See what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do next. And what I'm basically going to do is, so the outside looks identical to this here. I have this exact same piece here on the outside, and you can see I just got a piece of bolt ran through there, and I made kind of like a sleeve to hold it all tight. And you know what I mean. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it, to you? Double knotted on each side of that guy. That is just a long carriage bolt is all it is. And I have that carriage bolt welded on to this here handle on the outside so that I can rotate it from inside or outside. And to latch it, or to get it to hold both doors tight, I'm just going to run a rod from about here straight up and in through here, and I'm going to run a piece of flat stock coming out with a hole in it to help, you know, keep that rod sturdy. And I'm hoping that works to get both doors latched. I can operate it from the inside and the outside, one mechanism. You know what I mean? I think it'll work. Only time will tell, though. You know what I mean? And I left it nice and long so that I can grab a hold of it from either side, both hands if I need to. You know what I mean? We'll see how she does, but it might work. Might need some tweaks. This was actually a stand I was making to hold logs for testing. This V, it was to be turned the other way around. So with the V part pointing down, then I could put a log in it, clamp it down, and you can see how far that project went. I ended up using it for my doors. But if this one works, I'm going to build another one the same way for my other set of doors. I think I'll finish that tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'm going to call that for the day. First thing in the morning, though, I got to finish a video. I am working on a review video with a chain grinder. Where did I put it? There it is. Let me show you. I'm doing a review video on this grinder. I mounted a 2x4 to the bottom so I can just stick it in my vise and clamp it on. But it's battery operated. Just like, you know, not much different than what your drills and stuff would be. And you grind your chain and so forth. I'm working on a review video, but I'm doing a video where it takes over a period of time, if you know what I mean. I could do this thing one day, then I do this another day, and kind of showing you little clips through time of how it kind of progresses. But I got to finish that video tomorrow. I just got to make the final couple of cuts and close out the video, and that review video will be done. But I got to do that first thing tomorrow, and then we'll get into the tractor and the door, I think. But you'll be seeing a review video on that grinder here coming soon. If you guys are all interested in something like this, I think they sell it for like $90. It's a CC. It's spelled like SEESII or SIISEE, something like that. But yeah, you're gonna see a video come out tomorrow, or this week probably, on that guy. Once I get that video finished and edited and get her posted. I'm actually allowed to set up an affiliate link for these. That way I get kind of like a little kickback. Just I don't have any affiliate things set up with Amazon. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm just going to do the video and basically get a free grinder out of it. You know what I mean? And it's set up for 325 and 1/4 inch. You can do 3/8 on it though, but I think I'm going to leave it set up for 325, and then whenever I'm sharpening 325, I'll just do it off of that grinder, and I'll do all my other work on the other one. You know what I mean? Plus, this is portable. It's battery operated. I could kind of take that anywhere. I think that's one of the convenient factors of that one is I can go anywhere with it. But yeah, little clue there on what you're going to be seeing there in a review video. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this one. This is kind of like a long video kind of showing my different activities throughout the day. I mean, I ate my stuffed peppers for lunch. Had another one for dinner, and I'm kind of hungry right now. I might have another one. I'd be like 4 stuffed peppers today. I know I'm a pig, but they ain't real big. You know, these are small peppers, so I guess in a way I'm not being that much of a glutton. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have another stuffed pepper before I go to bed. Probably get that, edit this video, get it ready to pop or release tomorrow, and yeah, I think mostly just thirsty. I'm really thirsty. So I'm gonna go in, get myself a drink, and call it a night. So we'll catch you on the next one. Later.